Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about Howitzer, how to play him, how to build him, how to level his skills, and hopefully it helps you guys have more success in your casual ranked games. If you're new to him, if you're new to playing mid, if you haven't played mages, Vision Stone, go-to starter item. The choice is yours, a health pot or a mana pot for your sustain. If you're a good boxer, you can dance and get away from damage, pick up a mana pot. If you feel like you are a player who's new and you're getting hit a lot, a sustainable healing is probably more important to keep you alive. First item you want to pick up, Teardrop. Hands down, probably one of the most annoying, probably the best item in the game for the majority of mages. I don't know who I wouldn't build this item on, but it's your number one source of poke damage. Start out with a world tree. If you have to go back in the early game, you get poked out and you only got 300 gold, pick up a world tree, get 10 mana. You go back in lane, you got 825 gold, pick up a crystal over this book. You're only getting 15 magical power, whereas here you're doubling it for the same value. Then grab another 20 power if you can, finish off this item. Move into boots. Item number 2, you want to pick up your, if you have 1100 gold, you want to pick up this staff. If you have only 900 gold, you want to pick up the middle item, then a staff, then your boots. Get them online. Helps you on your first skill. You hit them with your rocket. We'll talk about that after. Let's get back into the build. After you get boots online, you have, are they building physical armor? If yes, or not physical, magical armor. When you look against your opponents and you notice they have magical defensive items on their tanks being built. If they have heavy tanks, warriors, anybody building magical against you, this is the item you want to get as your third item. Eventually you're going to want to get it regardless. But if no one's building, it's a coin toss to these two items, because you're going to build them both. It's just which one do you build first. But you want to get this blaster online. It reduces magical armor by 50%, cuts that shit down. Then you want to build this Moda. It slows targets by 30% and it refreshes every time your skill does damage to them. It's an amazing item. It will help you tremendously land and maximize the damage on your alt. Which one do you build first between the two depends on how the enemy team is building. Then to finish off your build, if you can, Toto is your go-to damage boost. This will light up the enemy and you will do insane damage. The only other time I wouldn't build this is if I am dying, if I need help, if I'm being targeted, CC'd to death. I have two options. I have a stone, which allows me, if I have a physical jungler beating me up, like a Xena. If I have a Xena jungle, this might be a go-to item over rampaging Toto, because I can use it and I can turn into a stone for 2.5 seconds. I don't take any damage, and so I can get it. I can nullify a Xena alt, a Countess alt. You're looking at, I can counter it's so many alts out there. It's a great item if I need it. The second item is your blue heart. Are you against it? This is more for Countess. I said her earlier, but this is a great item to counter her from the solo lane, or who's another great gadget if she's throwing her little stupid bomb at you, it can eliminate that. It's on a 60-second timer, so give or take, but it's not a bad item, this blue heart. And while you're building up the tree, you can get some magical defense online. It removes all debuffs except for knockups, and so that can get you out of a bind if you're getting stuns, people are bullying you, late game team fights. This can help you stay alive. Thirdly, if you have a bunch of healers against you, you got a Narbash, or you're up against a Rampage who is just frontlining, bullying, taking the abuse, and nobody can kill him, a Sage Whip will cut his healing down by 40%. It's a cheaper item. You can get it online much quicker and finish your build off. But the items don't stack. So if your team has a zinc armor, or your solo laner has a ghost axe, they're not going to apply 80% or whatever. The cap is 40% anti-heal. You're not gonna create any higher, but it is a good item for a mage to build as the main form of anti-heal in your team fights, because you have an AoE attack and you can dot the entire team you're playing against. But all in all, this is what you want to build, and then you will eventually finish off your Vision Stone to round out your build. Now your Vision Stone, you can increase it up to level 2 throughout the game. Maybe not. Now that I look at it again quickly, it doesn't really help you that much. It gives you back 3 extra mana per defeating a Tion. It does help you on your escape. It knocks off a minute, so you get it back, so you can blink every minute or every time that much faster by a minute. So here's your final build for Howitzer. Now your main skill is your Q. You want to level that up. This allows you to box like no other mage in mid can box. It's a super long range. Your blue arrow right here that I'm looking at is your auto attacks. So look how much further away a guy can hit his target before he's even getting auto attacked. And so it's great. You can keep them at range and box over and over and over again. Super low cooldown. Your second skill is your slow bomb. You want to pick that up. It's going to apply a slow to make it easier to hit your main rocket. Thirdly, you want to pick up your mine. This is a very clever skill. You can fight in it. It's there for 6 seconds. You can push yourself back. You can push enemies back. You can use it to elevate yourself onto a higher platform. There's all kinds of, I've seen players use that so I can't say the word, but they were very creative in the use of using their minds, and I went, wow, that was really good idea how they used it. After that, you get your to level 6, you get your ultimate online. You want to level your Q, max out your Q, max out your slow bombs, max out your ult, slow bombs, finish off your mines last, and that's your leveling range. Now, all of his skills, ultimately, you want to poke damage. This activates your boots right down here. When you get that online, it increases your run speed by 20% for 1.5 seconds on a 10-second cooldown. So you hit your Q, it increases your range. You can slow them, ult them, and then throw your bomb in, try to keep them back into your ult, knocking them back. Fantastic skill. And then you fight in your ult, and you're kind of all in at this point. So if you're not with your team, if you're not with somebody that can peel for you, and if your gemstone is on cooldown, you may be in trouble, you may die. Your ultimate is a great form of waiting for the enemy to engage, waiting for their jungler to engage. If their jungler engages, you can knock them back, hit them with a slow rocket, and then get into your ult. Now, let me show you, when you're in your ult, you can choose the direction that you fly in. So, as you go up and you fire, you will fall in the same spot that you were in when you went up, if you're not touching your keyboard at all. If you touch your keyboard and you fly up, and I'm holding on my S key to go backwards, he will jump back, creating more distance, more range between you and whoever you're attacking. And vice versa, you can go reapply and you can go to your left. Whichever direction you're holding at the time of falling, he will fly in that direction. And you can create a large gap that will save your life in a gank situation, get you back to your tower safety, and allow you to go back to base, get your health back, and come back strong and get into your next fight. Anyway, that is Howitzer in a nutshell. There's lots of techniques that great players use, but these are the basics. This build will help you crush a ton of your casual games. Have fun, guys. I hope it helps, and if you like what you've discovered through my content, please subscribe. It'll help me grow my channel. Leave a comment if you'd like to see my builds on another character. If you want to see me play somebody, or if you want to see or hear me talk about something, I'm reading my comments and I take suggestions from there. Have a great day. Take care. Bye, guys.